shots, or did you guys, without a true playmaker, really struggle out there in terms of getting things going in the half court?
Yeah, they picked up the pressure on us in the fourth quarter, and we didn't handle it well. We didn't have enough ball handling on the floor, and it resulted in isolations. It resulted in poor shots. They did a good job. They really picked up the pressure on us with their switching in the second and the fourth quarter, and we didn't have an answer.
Jonathan Fagan.
When you're that shorthanded and Vic is not on the floor, how are the guys that were in that mix supposed to attack that or deal with that? They're not going to do the same things the guys who are out were. What's the way for them?
Yeah, I mean, getting the ball up the floor quickly, not walking it up the floor, getting our driving kicks, low side screening. I mean, we know that they're going to switch, we have to have a better screening angle, so it's harder for them to switch. We just have to be a lot more detailed and kind of consistent with what we're doing when Vic's out of the game. But yeah, it was hard.
Brian Bearfield.
Coach, was it the communication on the defensive end that caused so many open shots from the three-point line?
Yeah, I didn't think we did a good job on defense. I didn't think we closed out like we're supposed to. I didn't think that we even started possessions in a defensive stance and ready to play. I just didn't think we were attentive to the defensive end of the floor, and it just wasn't like I showed some clips at halftime and we weren't even in defensive stances. And we have to have ball pressure, and we have to be in help, and it's hard, and we have to do both. We have to help, and then we have to sprint to a closeout, and we didn't do that.
Kelly Iko.
Hey, Coach, just as long as Christian is going to be out, do you want to see more of, I guess, plays with DeMarcus Cousins as in the high post, playmaking and kind of flow from there?
Yeah, I mean, we have to allow Cousins to play to his strengths. One of his strengths is passing the ball. One of his strengths is playing from the high post. Another one of his strengths is pick and pop shooting. So we want to make sure that he's in those positions so he can do those things.
Adam Spolin.
Steven, you talked before the game about trying to find a way to get offense without John and without Eric, but just how much did not having them impact the defensive end of the floor?
It impacted it a lot. It did. Those guys are good defenders. We're one of the best defensive teams in the league when they're on the floor. They weren't on the floor tonight, and I didn't like our defensive approach. So we're going to need them tomorrow night, and we got to do a better job, because if we're not going to play defense, it's going to be hard for us to win games, especially without Seawood.
Brian Bearfield.
Coach, one, do you have a update on David Nwaba? And two, how impressed were you, though, of your second unit at the end of that third quarter? They came in and gave you all a lot of energy.
Yeah, I love those second unit guys. I mean, Sterling Brown, David. Ben did a good job in the first half. House has been coming out off the bench, so the boost that those guys give us is important, and we just didn't carry it into the fourth quarter. We finished the third quarter well, but the start of the fourth was not good at all. So as far as Dave, I have no update on him.
Brandon Scott.
Hey, Coach, along the same lines as what Sarge was asking you about the bench players, I wanted to ask you specifically about Sterling Brown. Just what is he bringing to you guys off the bench, and do you feel like he's sort of earning himself some more minutes with his play?
Yeah, I mean, all those guys play well, and Sterling is one of them. And he's one that I can count on to be good on the defensive end and attack on the offensive end. So, the minutes kind of fluctuate based on who we have available. And tonight he was ready to play. But I really wasn't happy overall with our defensive effort as a group, not singling anybody out. But yeah, Sterling, I love Sterling.